Hi folks, I'm doing choose this video now. Uh, I've done it in advance because I'm a little bit busy now tonight. Um, so prices aren't up yet. Um, Apart from the nap, 9 to 1 nap now tomorrow is very very nice. Um, so hopefully we'll be able to get a few nice price winners. At the minute, it's sort of hard to tell really what the weather is going to be like. Um, there's a few black clouds, but the sun is out. Um, Ground seems to be drying up. I think I looked up there this morning. Tomorrow, between tonight and tomorrow, there's 10% chance of rain, which isn't too bad, I suppose. It's definitely doesn't look like the ground is going to dry out or dampen any further. And there's a good chance it might dry out that little bit more. So picking winners on the flat might actually turn out to be a little bit easier. As predicted, came up soft today. Um, Couple of non-runners. I think there was only one non-runner actually from our picks. Elizabeth of Aragon. Very, very upsetting about that. We tipped it up there last night, 9 to 4. It was backed into I think 6 to 5 or even money, and pulled out this morning. I suppose down to the bad ground. Um, Instead, I've gone with Dazzling Darren at 9 to 2 in that race. Second in the last three outings in Roscommon. Very, very unlucky all three times. Just pipped off on the line. Um, it's not so much as he should win it, but he deserves to win it. And I would love to see him just getting his head in front that one time that he needs to, and especially on this sort of scale, this sort of festival. Um, it'd be great for connections to have, I suppose, gotten more heartbreaks than anything else with him. But we're going to continue on with tomorrow's tips. 4:45. First race, we're going with Mila. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's Jim Bulger's horse. Um, Gradual improver over the last three starts. The connections, Bulgers, they love having winners around Galway. The draw is a lovely one in stall 3. It should be bang, bang there or in around. Um, it's sort of a tough race to call because there's an awful lot of horses in here that either have the potential, but it's hard to really tell whether they'll be good on soft ground or not, or anything worse than good, or else there's horses in here that look the part in breeding, but haven't put pen to paper when it comes to going on the track. The danger, I think, is Sweet Molly Malone, um, Aidan O'Brien's horse, very closely related to See the Stars, an American Pharaoh filly. It's just got the complete package, but its debut run would be, I suppose, a small little bit off-putting, I suppose. Um, and the fact that it's drawn in stall 8 as well compared to my choice in stall 3. Um, I think that's going to be the beating of Sweet Molly Malone here, but I can easily see her running on into second or even upsetting my prediction of actually going and winning the race. Um, I hold no grudges at all by losing to a better horse in the day. And look, at technically this horse is um, miles before the field, but just needs to put pen to paper with this one. Moving on then to 5:15, we're going with Ken Condon's Teed Up. It was a very impressive second in Goran in poor ground. Um, as you can probably see, the sun is starting to come out now again. If it'll only stay out now and maybe dry up the ground, I think that'll bring about like potential serious improvement here. I'm trying to think what stall she's like the horse is in. I actually forgot to write that down, but I don't think it's in too bad of a stall. If I'm not mistaken, it's either 6 or 8. Um, it's a poor enough affair There's nothing really jumping out on the page. And in my opinion, Teed Up is the best of a bad lot here. Hopefully, it'll show some gradual improvement to actually go and win this sort of a race. But look, it's very hard to tell around Galway on the flat. Moving on then to the 5:45. We're going with Inhale. The draw couldn't be better in stall 3. The horse itself is a very nice prospect, running off a mark of 104. Henry de Bromhead absolutely loves to have his winners around here. It found very, very much, I suppose, a lot of traffic in Killarney his last run. You can nearly put a line through that because it was drawn badly and it was just cotton traffic, and it wasn't really suited to the way the race was run. But I think he's not going to meet that at all from stall 3 here. I definitely think he's worth a very, very good shout, and if he's over 5-1, even maybe 10-1, he could be a very, very good shout for an each way bet. Moving on then to the 6:15, we're going with Gerald Lyons and Colin Keane combo with Frank Arthur. It's a very, very tough race to call, this one. I'm a big fan of Mick Mulvaney. He has 2 runners in here, In From the Cold and Comfort Line. Both of them look like Galway would suit them down to the ground, but really and truly, I can't look past Gerald Lyons and Colin Keane with the form they have been in. You look at the likes of Siskin, even so, they've been banging the Grade 1 victories in and around the country, no bother at all to them. I really think this yielding ground, what I predict anyway, if it does go to yielding, I think it's going to suit Frank Arthur more so than the likes of In From the Cold, Comfort Line. The rest of the runners in here, there's a few Joseph O'Brien ones that I think would prefer the likes of good ground, good to firm ground. Definitely not going to get it around Galway. And look at it's a more valid point than most. Like, this Frank Arthur has been running very, very credibly, like, since it's started running, and it's definitely one of the more classier options of the field. I definitely think it's very much worth a chance tomorrow for a win. But like I said, it's a very tough race to call. I wouldn't be surprised seeing a Mulvaney horse nab it on the line. Moving on then to the 6:45. This is the nap of the day, folks. Njord, currently trading around 9-1. Njord, for those of you who don't know, is a course and distance winner. That around Galway is massive. No matter where it's drawn, once you know that the horse is going to handle the hill and handle the track and handle the conditions, you're fairly confident that the horse is going to run a massive, massive race. There's a couple of things that's, I suppose, gone against them. The draw is out in the car park in stall 18. That isn't really ideal. Plus, there's a £10 hike for his last win. But really and truly, this horse is a machine. He was a machine for Sheila Lavery when she had him. He's been an absolute machine for Jessie Harrington since she got him. And if I'm not mistaken, Tom Hamilton is taking the ride tomorrow. Another very, very capable jockey. If there's anyone that's going to guide him home to a victory, it's going to be Tom. And hopefully we'll see the horse being delivered late on as they come in towards the straight. And with the help of God, he'll ramp up the hill at 9-1 for me. Then we're going on to the next best at 7:15. A very shrewd operation here now. Blanky Duty. This one here has been out of form lately and has been sort of hitting the crossbar and being I suppose struggling in his races, but without being disgraceful. Um, this horse looks to be absolutely prime for this race. Loves a nice tight sort of roller coaster like track. Galway was suited down to the ground. It's down to a mark of 58 over this extended mile and is in a nice draw of stall 5. Dusty Foley takes the ride. Very capable man, but I think I must have put a curse on him at one stage, because anytime I seem to back him, he never really turns up. But in fairness to Shane, he's a very, very capable jockey. I just always seem to be out of luck whenever I back him. But like I said, his last winning mark came in Bellewstown last year. That was off a mark of 60. So if you're looking into it that way, he's £2 lower than his last winning mark. And from stall 5, with Shane Foley on board, that is more interesting than most folks. I'd say he could be in anything between, I'd say, 8-1 and 20-1, depending what way the bookies, I suppose, decide the prices for him. But like either way, I think this one has a serious chance of, if not winning, at least running in for a place. Like I said, the stall number, the last winning mark, everything is just going in his favour, bar his recent runs. Like I said, they haven't been, I suppose, disgraceful by any means, but it's just a little bit worrying that he might be, I suppose, going out of form, and he might be just losing the will to race. But I'm taking a chance on him. I don't know what price he's going to start off at, but I predict he's going to be one of the overlooked ones, in my opinion. Moving on then to the 7:45, we're going with Mulzam with Dennis Hogan and Joe Doyle. It's very hard to be critical of this horse. He's a very, very seasoned veteran, very experienced veteran, and he just absolutely loves to run his race. He's very rarely ran a poor race. He looks like he's going to absolutely love the stiff uphill climb to the finish, and especially with Joe Doyle on board. Joe Doyle is possibly one of the most underrated jockeys I've ever come across. He's got a lovely style about him, lovely, I suppose, like a lovely connection with his horses, and just gets a lovely rhythm out of them. And like I said, he, like, over the past year or 2 years, whatever length of time he's riding, like, he always seems to run a nice race, whatever horse he's on, and in around Galway, he just seems to absolutely love the track. Yeah, it's a hard one to call. I definitely think Mulzam is the one jumping out of the page with me. But look, he should be in the top 3 anyway. I don't know what price he's going to start off at. I predict around, it could be around anything between 2-1 and 4-1. I can't really see it being any bigger than that. If it is, I'll be jumping on it. But I think is he drawn out in stall 10, I think. I don't have it written down here. I should have written it down, but I think the only thing that was sort of questioning me about it was the draw. I think he's out in stall 10. Like, that isn't really ideal, but when you have a horse of that class, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, really, at the end of the day. Finally, on to the last race then, the 8:15. We're going with Balderio, Dennis Hogan's horse again, for Joey Sheridan. Joey taking £5 off, possibly one of the best £5 claimers in the country at the minute. You just think back to the likes of the rides he gave Skeptical, Tony the Gent in Dundalk, and even on the turf as well. He's really, I suppose, grew a good relationship with the Hilltop boys, and of course Dennis Hogan himself. But I think this horse is more going for it than most people think. He's drawn for. He has a couple of runs under his belt, so he's fit and ready to run. He's in a nice mark. I think he's running off a mark of in around 58. If I'm not mistaken. Um, it definitely should be among the hotspots down tomorrow. There's a few there's a few there as well that sort of take me eye. Aiton Bob is a big danger. We don't really know what he's going to be like after being so long off the track. Uh, I definitely think Rachel Blackmore has a nice one on her hands there now today, and it's interesting to see her taking a ride in the flat. It always is, especially for Willie Mullins. I'd just be wary enough of the layoff. I'd like to see Aiton Bob maybe having a run before going into Galway. Um, it just it it jumps off the page as one of the best horses, but in terms of fitness and I suppose readiness, Balderio has that little bit more going for him, and hence I am sticking to Dennis Hogan, Joey Sheridan, and the Hilltop Syndicate. Hope you all enjoyed that, folks. As I said, we'll count down the days till the National Hunt card begins. I think it's starting Wednesday, so I'll be back tomorrow evening with a few National Hunt horses. I didn't actually look yet at what's running and what's not, but if I'm not mistaken, I think it's a full flat or a full National Hunt card tomorrow. There may be a couple of flat handicaps or something along them lines thrown in. It's very hard to keep track of Galway's fixtures and what sort of races are running there, here, there, and everywhere. It's a bit of a mix and match festival. Galway is, but that's what makes Galway so special. It's one of the only ones that has a mixture of both National Hunt and flat on the same card for different days. But I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go in now, watch the race, and hopefully I've tipped up a few winners for today and tomorrow.